That they have tremendous pace, and they're off. And it's Colombia over to Norwegian goal, and they pass out to the center. She wards off the forechecker, but her partner, her teammate, drops the ball. Norway has a chance to go over to the Colombian side. Taken back now by the Colombian defenders, and it's straight back over to the Norwegian goal. Caught by the foot, and she gets the pass off. Tangled up a little bit, they back off, now they're coming in. Joined, Christian Schaefer is back here. Super, that'll be all that much better. This time, Christian, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just call play-by-play, and then you can give insight, like you watch and then you come in with
yes, we're gonna do that.
The analysis and explain why things are happening, and if you have some particular observation to make.
Plan.
So, this game...
switch so I can sit with...
Okay, this game we expect the Colombians to really try to wear Norway out. They're going to do the same 180 swim around the goal tactic, swimming in and passing and covering it fast and getting the backs to open up, and then they're going to go in and attack. And what do you think, Christian? Will it be successful against Norway?
I know Norway, they were not fielding their strongest team the last time these two teams met in the competition. So I think it's going to be a little bit different compared to the first time they play. But I actually think that Norway will win this game.
They'll pull this out.
Yeah, I think they're going to pull this out.
Okay. Again, pass to the center. She swims all the way over to the left side, and then back to the center. Now I have a question for you, Christian. How do the Colombian players know that they're not going to get blindsided by the exchange bench players coming in when they come over on the left side here, like now? Did you get the question?
Yeah, I get the question, and I think the idea is that they're a few meters down from the exchange to the bottom of the pool, and they know they're not, if you see they are moving the ball rather quickly, they're not supposed to stay there for a long period of time, so they swim over there, change direction, like we see here, and pass it. So they will be able to make the pass before the exchange will be down to them.
Sometimes they go all the way into the wall and they can kick off, and sometimes they stop around 1.5 meters out. Does that make any difference? Not really.
Not really.
It's just as long as they keep it going.
Yeah, as long, and that's the thing. Colombia very keen about getting the tempo and the rhythm of their offensive playing going. And you see, slowly the perimeter is getting closer and closer and closer to the Norwegian goal.
They're tightening the,
they're tightening the grip.
The lasso that's going around. And when the lasso is completely tight, then they squeeze, and somebody will go in on the hole. Like right now, that's what happened. So the Norwegian players know that it's coming, but they never know exactly when they choose to do it. And there's no prearranged signal or anything like that. It's just, it's up to the player who has the ball to say, this is the time.
And in general, the player with the ball is the one deciding what's going to happen.
Yes.
They're a long pass from the Colombian.
And she comes over and she's locked up. Passed out. So one of the advantages of the system perhaps is that if there is a brief, okay, here's an example, was she off the exchange bench? If there is this kind of chaos, that out of this chaos will come even more chaos.
Yeah.
And she's over on the side with the no back. She's got and her teammate comes up to get it, but it's now Norway's got the ball, I think, or not.
Norway has the,
no, they lost it again, or it's a Colombia again, clearly. All right, she comes in. And
ooh, this is close. She shoots. And now she turns out. Can she? Oh, that was close to roll.
it means a lot to the Colombian players to come to all the way to Europe to play against the best competitors, because they know who they can play against in Colombia, and they have a lot of competition, but they want to show the rest of the world. It means a lot to them.
It's always, I mean, I think all players enjoy meeting new
Yeah.
competition.
That was
Great goalkeeping there.
a tough putt, and
Great goalkeeping.
but it was impressive the way she managed to get it out again. Didn't get locked up, but they are locked up on the surface now, and here's where the ball handling skills become important, right? The feeling you have in the oh, now they could all the way back down. She's working on the neck. It was not halfway in. It was a quarter of the way in.
But it was close.
Yes, but I mean that was dangerous. That was dangerous. And now they're back again. And she's passed to the center, and she's going to pass to the right. And the person on the right is butting.
What's the call? There's holding the basket
by the
Colombians.
She's pulling on it.
Yeah, but we talk about that. It's really important that we talk about getting locked up, and it's important for the Colombians to be able to bring out the ball before they're locked up, because when the ball is locked up, they lose the rhythm and the tempo of their offensive play. And that was the difference between Norway and Colombia last game in the men's bronze match. And we see they
got locked up a lot by the
Colombians. So the Norwegian lost the rhythm in their offense, while the Colombian they managed to pull the ball out, start over again.
And the German men managed to thwart Colombia in this.
Yeah, the Germans was successful in disrupting the
Colombian pattern. They couldn't get the 180 going round. Okay, now Norwegian player, she's struggling to hold on to the ball. It's right above the Colombian basket.
We have a question about the men's final, and the men's final will be...
It should be at 3.
It should be at 3, but we are a little bit delayed, but it will be immediately after this one. So stay tuned, Sebastian, from YouTube. The men's final will be right after this one.
So I'm Davril Tien, and in here in the booth with me is Christian Schaefer from Denmark. You are tuned into the CMS European U21 European Open Championship.
Yeah.
And we're in Sandefjord, Norway, 0-0, and there are about 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half of the gold medal match between Colombia and Norway.
And your impression so far
of this match?
Of the first match?
It's going largely as I expected, that Colombia is playing that Colombian game. They're maintaining possession. But as long as they don't score, then that's fine for Norway, isn't it? Then when Norway does break out, it only takes one attack.
Now we have
was it rough play, or?
I think there's a tag on the head, and we have a Norwegian free throw.
And a snorkel comes up. So maybe the women don't punch or anything like that, but here clearly this was they were breaking the rules. It was a little rough, and she took her snorkel away. Colombia down, guarding their basket. They have to do this when there's a free throw, but someone's called timeout. Or maybe the Colombian player lost her snorkel, in which case...
Yeah, I think it's a Colombian snorkel. But just...
then you have to question who was breaking the rules then, if there are two snorkels on the bottom.
Colombia is in this final because they won over Denmark. And Norway, they beat Germany on the way here.
Yeah.
The next match is Turkey-Germany.
That's the final.
This final for the men.
Det går. Han med forover. Jeg til sikringsstykket.
Nei, ikke på bekk. Sikringsbekken. Unnskyld, du bak Mina. Ja. Så begge spisser. Runa inn til Ida. Så fyller vi på og blir der og skårer det målet. Sjokker vi hele Colombia og hele verden. Er vi klare? Ja! Er vi klare?
Say something outrageous.
Very outrageous.
Okay.
I like these.
Yeah, good, bro.
Ah, nice. We're back on.
Are we? All right. So we're looking now at Pacho,
Pacho.
and he has that nickname because when he was, his name actually, Pacho is short for which Spanish first name? Paco.
It could also be. It could also be Francisco. So there are many names that could be shortened down to.
I think it's for Francisco. They told me something like they called him a Francisco when he was a little boy. He came to practice. It wasn't his name. They said you're a Francisco. Then he became Pacho, although that's not the proper name for him. It just became his nickname.
Big attack by the Norwegians, but
that's really
and
about as big a klung as you could see underwater.
And again, Darrell, we spoke about when the Norwegians come in, most of the Colombians go down. So if the Norwegians are able to bring the ball back out and in again, they have a big chance
They
of
have
scoring.
a better chance. We see there's no, and she's got it to her.
Great pass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And a dramatic. The Norwegian fans here gave an audible gasp there because they thought that it was it was close.
It was very close.
No doubt that's a really positive sign for Norway. And what happened to the Colombian backs there? Remember, Colombia often plays without backs. They play 2x2 forwards. A lot of forechecking. They're very aggressive with the forechecking. So that's partially a reason that they're not always there in the same way.
But now we have some Norwegian possession, really for the first time, over a longer period in this game.
Oh, they. That was great. Their opportunity for Norway. They had an open basket, but it was a we don't know whether it was a forward or a defender who it was. She went in and took the ball and stopped it. She knew what her responsibility was. There was no doubt that was critical. She could not let that go another inch further. Now Colombia goes up. She holds the ball behind her back, hiding it. And does it work to hide the ball behind your back? It can. Some player might not see you have the ball.
That's favorite tactics of one of I know Darrell, one of the players you're very fond of, Vladimir Sharupov of Beta.
He liked to do that.
He likes to do that.
Well, Sharupov's not playing anymore, but
not at the moment.
No,
he might.
But they wish he would. Oh, now she's got she's looking for the neck.
But I would like to say the Norwegian forwards being a bit more closer to the Colombians when they're moving over the goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I think the Norwegian forwards are allowing the Colombians to have way too much time over the goalkeepers.
Yeah, they only have.
You see here, this is where I would like to see a Norwegian forward a little bit sooner because it becomes dangerous way too fast. So the Norwegian forwards needs to tighten their grip a little bit.
But maybe they're used to hitting people below, and because so many attack from the bottom in Scandinavia, they're less accustomed to attacks on the goalies. I don't know how it's played in Norway. In Sweden, people attack from the bottom. I think it's good to attack from above.
But still, you need to be able to adjust to that.
Yeah, of course.
Now we have Aruna Elrond with the ball. She's moving out in the surface.
Norway, but there are Colombians all over the place. And they're actually going out. They've got the 2-on-1.
We have 5 Colombians down now.
Yeah.
This is what we spoke about, Darrell. If Norway able to keep on to the ball now,
yes,
they will have a great chance.
That's what I'm talking about, that they have the double forward forechecking.
Norway's...
Now, is it wise, Christian, if somebody stays and does an extra long dive, if they've only actually done 1 or 2 dives to go straight out, or does that throw off your team out of sync?
No, I think if there's a lot of pressure on the goal,
Right.
you'll sometimes you just have to manage with just 1 or 2 breaths in the surface. Then you need to do everything. I mean, even though it's not your turn or not your rotation, it's about stopping.
Go in, make a dive.
And stop it.
Yes. Now she's fiddling with her mask. What's the story here?
That's number 13 from Colombia, Maria Lucia. Adjusting her mask.
Her nickname is Malu.
Malu,
Yeah.
you're holding that paper very close to your eyes, Darrell.
I just wanted to make sure I got the name right. So, Malu, if your parents are watching, she would say hi to you, but she's busy. It's true.
It's true, she's busy.
Yeah. It's not really professional when the TV people say hi to their friends and relatives during a program, but we know there are people watching in Colombia, we know there are people watching in Singapore, Australia, and we're really grateful for your interest. And USA also. Wow, now they're still coming in. Oh, now even though the back is there, she wasn't engaged for a slight period of time. That's a weakness that Colombia's looking for often, right?
But I still think there is some. The Norwegian really need to adjust their forward play because it is becoming way too dangerous too often. So the Norwegians really have to work on getting their forwards closer to the Colombians. Otherwise, I think we're going to see a goal coming from the top for Colombia.
And Norway hasn't had very many scoring opportunities, but they only need 1, really, because they're big and strong, and they can knock the Colombian women off if they get their arms around them or something like their bottom, and then they could score a goal, and Colombia might not be able to come back from that. So we're looking for a 1-0 game, aren't we, really, here?
Looks like it at the moment. There's, 1 minute left?
In the first half. But it looks like it's a low-scoring game.
This is not a high-scoring game.
Which is good.
Yes, it is, especially because it's the final.
Yeah, means it's close.
Bit more exciting. And even though that the Colombians may seem tiny in stature, they are very strong, all of the girls.
Oh, yeah.
I've been very impressed by the strength of the Colombian girls.
Yeah, they're not big, but they're in shape.
Yeah, and strong hands, good ball handling skills.
I wrote an article a long time about Captain Annie Gallego. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. But she's been thinking about this trip for months and months. It means everything to them.
And the article you're referring to can be read on...
go to my Facebook page and look under my notes, or the page of Underwater Rugby Org on Facebook.
End of the first half.
Yeah. So, it's going well. Do you want a Norwegian
waffle?
Waffle?
No, thanks. I'm trying to limit my carbo intake here.
Thanks. I'll grab one. Thanks. Christian Schaefer's sticking exclusively to bananas. Bananas are for monkeys, Christian, isn't it?
We have a question about the number of a Colombian player, and she is wearing
Andrea Castaño, te amo.
lo único que tienen es amarrarnos, ¿listo? Entonces, ¿qué tenemos que hacer? Movernos. Y está rebotando, no podemos respirar tanto. Niña, no roben posición, Sara, Paula, no roben posición. Vayan a ayudar a la compañera para poderla rotar. ¿Listo?
Sí, ya hablamos por aquí.
Solamente hay que empezar a chocar y soltarla. Y ya, ahí al final ya estaba reventada la portería, parce.
Ese segundo tiempo.
Pero ¿qué pasó? Nos amarraron. Hay que empezar. Tin. Primero a desgastarlas porque ya arrancan con todas. Desgástela. Y empezar a, no se deje agarrar porque nos frenan todo el ataque. Y se recuperan ellas.
Pero quédense en la base. Porque es que si está yendo la circulación y se sube, las que llegan tarde, las que caen con aire, se pegan de usted. Claro. Sacando solo por
O sea, la que se sube la portera le hace así y le manda mano bien larga.
Eso, quédense en la base.
¿Dónde vamos a amarrar? Listo.
You study Spanish in school?
No, I don't have any sound, so I don't know what he's saying.
Okay. We're on.
We're back on. So
You're
now
tuned in to the women's final of the Open European Junior Championships, broadcasting out of Sandefjord, Norway. We are working for the Norwegian Diving Federation and the local club.
we are helping out.
We're helping them. We're paid with waffles. That's our pay. So, second half here, scoreless so far. Norway is shouting. They're trying to get psyched up. And I know sometimes it's hard to take a chant seriously when they're shouted by women in a higher voice. It doesn't sound as threatening. But if you look at their faces, you know it's very serious, right? They're coming. They're in this to play hard.
They're geared up.
There was some fouls before in the first half. Was it kicking or headbutt or something? So it's not entirely. It's possible that it's tough. They don't punch, but they might underwater do things to stress their opponents sometimes. You're thinking about that.
I'm
Thinking about that, Christian.
Well, I'm looking. I'm a little bit of a equipment head myself, so I'm looking on some of the equipment the Colombians are wearing because I like the different colors. I like the different masks. The mask you see the coach is wearing there.
Yeah.
I refer to that as a Russian mask. I forgot the name, but it's made from aqualung, and it's what is called the sphere or
Sfera?
yeah.
You like Sfera matches?
No, I tried to play with it a couple of times, but whenever I play with it, it comes off so easily. I constantly loses it. It breaks, so I don't know how.
Why other people are using it?
No, but I mean, I just maybe that's me coming in with my hit first.
Second half has started. So first to the ball is we don't know. Must have been Colombia because Colombia's over there. And they spin around, pass out to the center. She heads over to the left side. Her foot is caught. She passes back to the center. She goes over to the left side. She pushes off the wall, passes to the center. The center continues on to the right. She comes above the top, passes out to the center of the pool again. So they exchange possession even there. Now she comes into the back,
Oh.
floating up.
And where's the back? There she is. Oh, that waffle smells good, Darrell.
They're over there, Christian waffles.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Oh, very dangerous. Now that was almost a goal for Colombia.
Yeah. And she ripped off a much bigger Norwegian girl who was lying down in the basket.
Colombia on defense right now. Norway passes down to a player who goes down to the center. They go over to the right side. She's looking for support. Chased by two Colombian players, they're going to try to strip her of the ball. And they drive her up.
We have, Darrell, we have a question for you about your Facebook page and the blog where you can find your notes.
I think if you just type my first name and Facebook and notes, it ought to bring it up.
And
or any words dealing with underwater rugby and see what happens. And in notes, there's no particular alphabetical order. You just click through and look at them. So okay, Colombia headed to the other side of the pool. They've got a fast break on or some kind of a break. No, they're caught. And Colombia managed to pass to a player who's deeper. They go deeper and deeper, and now they're right down to the bottom of the pool. And they pass over to the center. Now she comes all the way over to the right, passes back. She swims to the center. We're back to the 180 degrees tactic. But they're driving Colombia way back. So they're not, it takes time to tighten the lasso that Christian Schaefer was talking about. And now she's got a couple of hits in the head, and she kept the ball too long.
Yeah, and you see, because she held on to the ball too long, her teammate nearly lost it because the Norwegian was able to get close to them.
Right.
So it's about keeping the tempo in the ball, keeping the pass going. And now they're coming in, tries to work, and this could be a goal, and it is! Goal, Colombia!
With 11:40 remaining in the match, in the game, Colombia scores, and we'll see now who that was. They should be blinking here soon. So Colombia has a
13, that is...
yes, yeah. Malu.
That's Malu, Maria Luisa.
Maria Luisa Villalobos Lobana. 17.
Is it?
Paula Daniela Rodriguez Gonzalez.
Okay, so we
got it wrong at the beginning.
We got it wrong.
Yes.
No.
Paula Daniela Rodriguez Gonzalez. Did they say 17?
Well,
no. 17. I don't see any 17 there. 73.
No, I think... You sure? It says number 13.
It's 13. If it's 13, then clearly it's Maria Lucia Villalobos Lambana, also known as Malu. I think it's Malu.
And there is a goal. There is a goal.
And is it player 13? So Norway has a lot of time to battle back. They've got almost 12 minutes.
And Norway has by no means been out of this game.
No.
They had some big chances themselves, so this is a...
Periodically, Norway has been on top.
The goal was made by number 13. That's Maria Lucia, also known as Malu, according to Darrell.
I think so.
Yeah, that is Malu.
And she lives in Medellin.
Medellin in Colombia. Now we have Norway moving over.
Passes to the other side.
And
a push in. It could be a goal. Strong. Now she's got her. She's got a smaller back. No, she doesn't go in. Now Christian was groaning a little bit. You thought she should have gone in. Yeah. It's okay. You can say what you think. I mean, it's not. It's never going to be 100% right. It's a judgment call by the player, and you just feel that if you were there, you would have done it. I know you felt that.
But now we have a Colombian fast break.
Colombia coming in from above. Briefly, the ball is vulnerable, then taken away from
Oh, she's not paying attention there, but then Norwegian forward a little bit too slow. And Darrell Malou, she lives in Bogota.
Oh, that's right.
lives in-
Malou lives in Bogota. And I
being
should
told.
know that because my daughter was there and visited her.
Thank you very much, Carolina.
Yes, right. That I know Malou lives in Bogota because Wilma was there. My mistake.
It's okay,
It's
Darrell.
it's Andrea who lives in Medellin. After the game is over, there's going to be a party at the school, and I think even you're invited. So the Colombia players, you'll get a chance to meet the stars, your favorite stars. Oh, it's a good.
What do you mean with even me?
Yeah, you're invited. Okay, Norway takes the ball. How are you getting back to Oslo, Christian?
I'm driving.
What time?
Marius is driving me. Now we have a Norwegian timeout. The coach of Norway, Marius
Called
Dambunis,
timeout.
my club teammate, he'll be driving me back to Oslo
At what time?
around 5 o'clock.
I might catch a ride with you.
Are you going to Oslo?
I got to go to the airport.
Yeah, but you can ask Marius. He's
All right.
driving there.
But I would like to go to the party, at least say hi to the kids there. I wonder if the stores are open here on Sunday in Norway.
Probably not.
No. It's not that kind of place. It's like Sweden in the olden days.
And if they were, they wouldn't have anything you would want to buy.
I thought Haagen-Dazs was some of the kids. Maybe Haagen-Dazs cost a lot of money in Norway. You live on split pea soup in Oslo.
No, I don't. It's, that's a whole other discussion. But we have 9 minutes left here.
Yes.
And if you have any questions for Darrell or me, feel free to comment and we'll try to get to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Just to clarify that Malou lives in Bogota
Well, we
and
know
Andrea lives in Medellin. And
that's a very important
Yeah.
point. We got that sorted out now.
all right.
Um,
And the players are diving now, indicating that they're ready for this free throw. Yes, Norway's down at the bottom, protecting the goal properly, right? Christian, if you're the coach, you'd be very angry if someone had a goal stolen on a
Yes.
free throw and then they swam over and scored and the team was not ready.
important to keep your rotation going, even though there's a... Okay, now we're going to see the refs stopping the action. They
Separate the teams.
separate the teams, so...
What on earth could it be at this point?
It's Kiwi. Okay, we're getting told that your Kiwi is open here in Sandefjord. Tove, Margrethe, and Mr. Finn told us that Kiwi is open.
The TV.
No, Kiwi, the shop.
Oh, it's a shop.
Where
Okay.
you can buy some food. And Darrell, you are encouraged to go to the party because Enzo thinks you'll get some interesting things to write about in your upcoming articles.
Okay. I have to make it to the airport for a flight at 8 o'clock, and it's just a matter of finding someone who's going to drive there. It doesn't necessarily have to be hitching a ride with Marius and you, but we'll see.
Just to clarify why they wanted the players separated, when there is called a timeout, you cannot go over and take your position to take the free throw before the timeout has completely expired. So you have to wait for the timeout to expire before you can go over and take your positions for the free throw.
The defense or the offense?
Both teams.
Both teams. Okay. I wonder how young the youngest Colombian player is.
Let's put that out to the YouTube live stream. If any of you know some of the ages of the players, we'll be very interested to hear that. So please feel free to comment.
Now we're seeing again the 180 being established. She goes in near to the wall, she turns around and she passes, and she didn't follow the procedure. She passed across instead of back and center, and it resulted in a fight over the ball. So that was very interesting. I really learned something there. Did you get?
And that is right. If when
she left the procedure and it failed. Now show me the cross. She passes up. That's okay. She goes into the wall. She comes out to the center again. That's okay.
And
she goes round.
We have a injured Norwegian player on the bench, and that is Runa Elrong.
She's a key player for them.
She's a very important player. She is currently not in the game, and that is a big blow for Norway because she is a
important player,
great player. Plays as a back for Norway. And yes, there is an injury on the Norwegian team. It is Runa Elrong who's left the game due to an injury, but she's getting...
Is she replaced?
She's getting...
Can you see a replacement on the screen?
I can't see a replacement on the screen yet, but she's getting attention from the...
medics. There are a lot of medics here.
There's a lot of medics here the weekend, so she's been taking good care of. They're helping her up at the moment as we speak.
Okay, trying to keep... Oh, she passes to her teammate who goes back to the center. So this pattern allows anyone to go back to the center. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to pass through the center, not across. That's short. Right. The passes are long, but the passes are controlled.
Yeah, and you can see those.
There she goes.
You can see those very
back to the center.
Tight channels that the players are trying to pass into.
Yeah, and now they're making the move.
There's no back down.
And she passed out, and they go back out again. And now one of the points that you might be wondering is, how can Norway afford to let all the time go by while the Colombians do this? How can they?
Yeah, they can, but still 6 minutes is a lot of time to play, but I'm sure that Norway would like to get the ball, but they're unable to do so. But here we see but again the Colombians wins the ball.
Oh, now they're coming over back towards the center, but now they're being pushed. So now they come back in and straight on the goalie.
1 against 1.
She spins around, hands it to the goalie. The goalie has it.
But
great play.
Great play.
Yeah.
But it seems like we have a Norwegian fast break here. 1 against. It looks like 1-0.
She caught her by the legs.
Okay, we have a big Norwegian chance here, but it seems like the Norwegian defense is a little bit rattled by the exit of Runa.
Yes, she's a key player. And the thing about Runa, she can push the goalie off rather easily. She's strong.
Also playing on the senior level.
Yeah, she pushes the goalie. The goalie will just crumble. I've seen it happen before.
Yeah, she's a great player.
Now it's Colombia back on offense, and they've got a position.
It's a bit chaotic.
And the ball, it's going to pass down, but it's the offensive moment passed by, so they're going back to the system if they can. And it goes down to the back, deflected, and she's got a position. She's struggling to put it in.
It is.
It's a very. I think Norway's going to survive this.
But I think you saw that the back she won the ball, but instead of swimming herself, she's moving directly to the surface and trying to pass the ball forward. And a thumb rule is always when you receive the ball in defense, swim yourself. Don't go to the surface. Swim out on the bottom.
That's what I do. I always swim to the surface, and people all say, "Don't swim to the surface." It's easy to do, though.
And no goalkeeper, no back. It's just goal Colombia. Goal Colombia. That was the Norwegian defense. Total absence there of both back, goalkeeper, and forward. Big collapse in Norwegian defense. And that was number 18 with the goal. That is Annie Lisette, and that is the captain on the Colombian team. Annie with the goal.
Annie Galago. I wrote about her. And you can read about
Annie with
her
the goal.
on if you go to my Facebook notes.
Of course, great goal for Colombia, but a little bit disappointing to see the Norwegian defense
Broken like that.
broken like that.
But this is it's not a surprise. This is a close game, but Norway has not been able to get enough meaningful possession to really threaten Colombia. They did have one fast break just we saw recently, and that was pretty stressful for Colombia.
3 minutes left here.
But they know, their coaches have taught them, if you're in that situation, you have to swim really hard, and they know they cannot go up, right? The other team gets the ball, you can't go up and get air, you have to stay down and swim. And you can exchange after you make a swim on the bottom all the way. If the other team steals the ball and can go all the way underwater to score, you can swim all the way underwater to defend. Even though psychologically it's not as fun.
Absolutely right, Daryl. But it looks like the Colombian girls will take the gold medal.
Yes.
So most likely will be a Colombian gold medal and a Colombian bronze medal in this tournament.
And
that is a
likely. That's good. That's like over 50% success.
Yeah, I think that's.
She goes into the wall, passes back to the center. It's I don't know if this is boring for a non-underwater rugby player, but for an underwater rugby player, this pattern is fascinating. Oh, she passed out in this. Norway with the ball. Fast break.
Just to give you an update on Rona, who left the game a couple of minutes ago. She's up and about now and looking better. So Rona is recovering, but she's out of the game.
I don't want to say her injury cost Norway the game, but of course it was didn't help things. But
no. Now we have 1 minute left.
Oh,
Colombian fast break.
Yeah, she's got a lot of speed there. Open goal.
That's it. That's it.
There's no coming back from that.
Nope. We have a question from Stine on how many of the Colombian girls will go into the Champions Cup.
Good question.
Good question. We don't know. Hopefully somebody on the stream can help us out with that. The goal was made by number 23, and that is Paula Daniela with the goal. Number 23, Paula Daniela.
Paula Daniela Rodriguez Gonzalez. Oh, now Norway coming in from the top. It would be nice to score, at least to somehow not win the game, but you get some sort of satisfaction out of doing that.
And we know that Malou, number 13, she will be going to the Champions Cup in 2 weeks' time. And here again, Annie comes with the ball, passes it out. Now the Colombian girls are counting down 4.
In Spanish.
And the game is over.
It's over. Well, I should try to do an interview of
Colombia.
I'll interview Annie Galago.
Do that.
Yeah. I should interview Annie Galago.